You feel me? I hope you do.
Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
From Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing 230 pounds.
And damn. Boom.
Booyah.
What
Rob,
do
I
you
kind of
think?
screwed it up. I muted. You were still muted at first, but we got Van Dam in there. We got Van Dam in there.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
Yeah, well, it's a work in progress, everybody. Hello, it's Monday. We're with Mr. Monday Night. It's Mr. Rob Van Dam. He said it firsthand. Rob, how's dad life treating you, man?
Good, dude. Good. The kids are already driving, you know, as long as
Wow.
yeah, they're advanced. As long as they're home by 10, I don't give them a hard time, you know. Yeah.
How's Katie feeling and everything? And
She's amazing. She's
Mhm.
amazing, and she feels great, and she is loving being a mom, and it's amazing. She just snapped right back into physical condition. Like that's one of the most amazing things is just when I look at her, like I'm like, come on, ain't no way you just had a baby.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Was she nervous about that? Like, or was she pretty confident? Like, oh, I'll just get right back into it once I'm done. Like,
I think she was confident. You know, it was on her mind. It was a concern, but yeah, but I don't think she was nervous about it. You know, but that's something that's important to her. You know, so
right.
But she hasn't. I don't think she can work out for. I think maybe it's 6 weeks that she's supposed to wait or something. But yeah, it already looks like, you know, like she did when she was in the gym, just like snapped right back into it. So pretty amazing.
Is it mostly just a diet thing and kind of like just like loose workout, like light workout stuff, or what's exactly she doing to kind of get back into it?
Well, she's not doing anything right now. I mean, a lot of it's just, you know, like after giving birth to twins, she lost a lot of fluid, and she also had that preeclampsia, which was causing extra swelling, and now all of that's gone. So, her body just said they ain't no need to keep
body naturally did it then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Because when she was explaining that, I was like, is she like kind of like doing stuff to get right back into it almost, or so? But that's great. That's good.
Looking forward to doing that soon, but so far her energy has not been there. But it's amazing how nature takes care of you. You know,
Absolutely.
Even like when it comes to like the milk and feeding the babies. You know, like her body knows how old the babies are, so exactly like what they need in their milk. You know, like it's pretty amazing stuff. You know, evolution or creative design.
Yes.
A debate for the ages.
Oh, it's always ongoing, Rob.
Yeah. You know, I think some of it is an age thing, because when I was in school, and I graduated high school in '89, so that's how long ago that was. But we were not taught evolution, so it probably sounds ridiculous to people afterwards that were taught that in school. It probably sounds ridiculous that some of us have a hard time with the concept of thinking we were a single fucking celled organism, and millions of years later, not 7,000 or so like the Bible says, but millions and millions and millions. And then somehow that single celled organism became this with all these little fucking computer analyzing mechanisms and machinery and systems going on at the same time. You know, just like I said, just knowing exactly like what the babies need because of how old they are, and that even though, I mean, I get, like, if you're taught afterwards, then you probably think we sound like ignorant, even considering that evolution is bullshit. But I wasn't taught that. It doesn't make sense to me, and I'm not saying I know, but how come the single cell organism next to me, how come that became a fucking housefly? And I became that, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of questions, and I know science has some answers, but not all of them. I mean, if nothing else, when you come down to the what is it, the God gene? Is that what it's called?
I think that's what it is. I'm not sure. Honestly, Rob, too, I can't remember if they taught me evolution in school or not. I don't think they did. Yeah, I don't. If they do, I can't remember.
And then in that Sunday school, that was a thing. Like when I was real little, I remember going a couple times, not a lot, but I do remember the story of Noah's Ark because a comic book came with it. And that might have been one of my first comic books. I don't know, but I just remember, like, all his neighbors thought he was crazy. They're all out, having orgies by the pool and drinking and saying, old Noah, you're so crazy. And he's building the boat saying, it's not too late to change your mind. And they're like, yeah, fuck you. And then when the rain hits, he's like, oh, sorry, don't have any life rafts for you.
Peace out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, we were taught that was history, though.
Yeah, right.
Fairy tale.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, and there's a lot. I mean, I believe in all that stuff, or the intelligent design and all that. So it's just like, that's kind of like just how the process has been for me. But it's like some people, Devin Dowling said in here too. What did he say? Nah, this whole universe is a simulation.
Well, that could be too. But when it comes to intelligent design, I mean, there's a lot of supporting evidence that makes me think, we could have blown off in dust from another planet, so to speak. And when you watch the Alien TV shows, that documentary weekly series show, they study all the ancient drawings on the cliff walls and pyramid walls and all that stuff of aliens and spaceships, and they seem to there's beliefs that the aliens had relationships with the humans back then and gave them a lot of intelligence that somehow disappeared during some dark ages and then came back. But is that less believable than some of the other crap we're taught? Not to me.
Right. Yeah, it's hey, we've been questioning it for years on end. No answer has been confirmed.
Right.
That's for sure. Hey, speaking of intelligent design, Rob, God made a good person with this one. We have a special guest here today.
Oh, let's bring him on.
Yeah. You want to make the introductions?
Yes, sir. Good friend of mine, longtime friend, ECW friend. And now he's crushing it in JCW, which is great because he's Skull Von crushing it.
Hey. That's right.
Crushing JCW. Enjoying watching you in JCW, being Vince Russo's bodyguard or right-hand man, if you will. Very entertaining.
Yeah, Vito, what's up, brother?
What's going on, people? I finally made the Rob Van Dam show, and it's goddamn gonna get some good ratings. You know it. Look at my friend Rob Van Dam, and this is Don D'Angelo. He was so happy to email me. He said, "Oh my God, it's Skull Von Crush. I can't believe you're gonna be on the show. Great to meet you." I said, "Hold on, kid. Put your pen down. Put your picture down. All right, relax. Me and Rob go way back. All right, look at the smile on his face, Rob. He can't believe he's there with two greats. Look at my body, Rob. Look at me. I'm on this great show. Thank you very much for the props.
Welcome.
Rob, how is the family? What are you doing? And how's everything going?
Everything's great. Everything is absolutely great. It's so organic because I don't really know what to expect. I think just because I haven't been around a lot of little kids. I'm a horrible uncle. You know, and I am the worst, and I never spent time around little kids, and I know they exist. I know there are kids out there, but having our own, it's like so organic. Like the relationship is not anything to compare anything to. It's just it is what it is, you know. And I'm holding a little baby with this tiny little face, you know, just a little, and watching the little expressions change, watching her be happy. And she's almost about to cry, and I'm like, no, what's happening? And get her to, you know, get that smile
Yeah,
back.
Rob and RVD action figure. Stop crying. I mean, Rob, it's
Yeah.
great.
That's pretty much the relationship so far. I mean, we're not like playing catch or anything yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you something, Rob. I have been a kid whisperer. Little kids and babies love me. It's been my whole life. I've had a whole slew of little friends everywhere I go shopping, you know, airports, everywhere. Little babies love me. It's just like a thing, and they stare, and I talk to them, and their parents, and they wonder like, how does this happen? They never smile at nobody, and you come along, this big monster of a man, this intimidating guy, but it's the intimidating guys who have the softest hearts, and the kids know good people. And that's the difference. You know what I mean? I know, Rob, you said, you know, you've been highlighting the single life. Now you got smacked on the ass. Hey, Rob, great job with the ladies. Now you're going to get smacked on the ass. Hey, go do some bottle feeding. I mean, it's you just getting smacked on the ass. You know, it's good. It's good.
Hey,
Now, Vito, do you have kids at all?
Well, I've been on Maury 278 times, and they said, Vito, you are not the father because, you know, I had a few ladies, a few hundred. But when I got married, my wife had 2 children. I happened to raise 2 wonderful children that are good in the community. They're loving kids. They're doing very fantastic. And it's a great thing. You know, like I said, you know, like throughout my years, I have been with some ladies who've had children, and I've helped raise a number of children, 13 to be exact. So when I get a chance to, you know, with my wife, and she had 2 kids, I said, that's no big deal. And they took to me, and I took to them. So their personalities are like mine. They're outgoing. You know, they picked up some good traits, and like, you know, it brings them out, you know, so it's all good. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's fun. It could be challenging at times, you know, and you know the old saying, listen, you don't go to college, I'm gonna put your head through a wall. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things. But I know things have to be a little softer and say, listen, you don't go to college, I'm gonna put your head through a mattress. The same respect, you know.
a lot of people don't realize Vito used to date the Octomom, and so he's got a lot of experience with the kids.
Yeah.
8 there, another 5 along the road.
What a Bravo show that would be.
You know, you want to know.
He froze.
He froze.
There
He might have got a
it is.
phone call. I bet you got a phone call.
I thought it was just New York. Looks cold.
Oh, yeah. Nope.
Looks cold.
It's freezing in Pittsburgh, by the way. It is fucking cold.
Is it?
All right, we're back.
Oh, there you are.
All right, good.
Tell them you're in Florida. It's
All
cold
right,
here.
I'm in Florida, and we're having a cold, so that's why I have a hat on. I just got off the road with JCW. So we're talking about going from 80-degree weather, and you step off the plane, you're in Denver, and I'm like, oh, God, I'm freezing. And then you go to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and you're freezing still. You're in the bus, you're traveling, and you know sometimes when you're in a smaller company, you know it's not the luxury, you know, traveling accommodations, but working as a team like in JCW, we make it work, and you bend a little bit, and everything is cool. And I got to say, all the people that are with the company, they're very, very good. You know, a lot of respectful kids, a lot of respectful people.
All right, this feels like a pitch. I know. JCW wants RVD.
Oh, yeah.
No, I get it. You know what I mean? It's like anything else, Rob. You know, and like, you know what's funny? You know how Rob and I got to be friends, and this is like crazy thing. I don't know if you remember this, Rob. We had worked together a few times, and Rob came up to me one day. He says, you know, Vito, he says, I like working with you. I said, why is that? He says, you're the only guy who catches me. Everybody else will let me fly through the air, right? And I used to do this great thing that I used to catch guys on my shoulders. I used to let them fly off the top rope. I did it with Rob. I did it with Sabu, Chris Chetty, and all the guys in there. They said, Vito, how the hell are you catching guys that are 230 or 250 coming off the top rope, catch them on your shoulders, turn around and powerbomb without falling back? I just had great power. You know what I mean? It was like, I wasn't a bodybuilder body, but the power I had just from wrestling training, you know, and you just had a strong body. And I was like, it was good. But taking care of Rob, and that's how we became friends. And I have to tell you, one of the favorite matches I've had with Rob was at the ECW arena when Rob and I went back and forth. And people still talk about that match today. And I think if I would have went over in that match, nobody would have complained, because that match was SVK for Skullbone Crush, RVD. The arena was split. Everybody was cheering. They were into it. It was 50-50 till the end. And then, but one of the greatest matches I had was with Rob. And I'll give you an ECW story.
All right.
My old man, he was a full-hearted, die-hard wrestling fan, but I never exposed the business. Watches me with Rob Van Dam in Queen's Elks Lodge. So he watches on TV, calls me up. That son of a bitch, that manager. I know you can fight. What the hell's going on? Right? That son of a bitch. If I ever catch him, I'm going to break his fucking legs. And I know everybody, you know, out there knows of my legacy, that, you know, legit, you know, my family was, had relations with some other families.
Oh.
And I am like, you know, grew up in that lifestyle. So we go to the ECW arena. Rob, I don't know if you remember this, but you might not. So my father comes to the ECW arena to see me wrestle. I invite him to the back. Who do we walk up on first? It's Rob Van Dam. He says to Rob, I'm standing, my father steps in front of me. I'm behind Rob. And I say, my son can kick your fucking ass. I'm going like this. So Rob's walking. And he goes, yes, sir. I understand. Your son is very tough. I know. And that motherfucker. Where is the son of a bitch? That fucking manager. I'll break his fucking ass. Right? Oh, I'm fucking breaking Bill Alfonso's not in any fucking near within 10 feet of us. It would have been a fucking fight. So Rob was gracious enough to fucking say, yes, sir, thank you. It was very nice to meet you. Be cool. And the next time you fight my son, come along, you son of a bitch. So I know this segment right here is going to get a million views, but that's the mafia story of the day. Don't look at the fucking old man sitting in wrestling match.
So you don't have to say anything, Vito, but just move your eyebrows when you hear the right associated family with your dad. Bonanos, Columbos, Gambinos, Lucchese.
That's it.
Genovese.
That one.
You see, aren't you guys having a better time with me than Russo? He's not this fucking funny, right? And Russo's sitting there, you know, I'm a writer. Fuck you, you're a writer. You ain't got no sense of humor whatsoever. That's why I'm on the show.
I'm enjoying your character on the show, man.
Dude, you're great on the show, man. It's so fucking funny. Oh.
No, I'm glad you guys.
Keeping everybody in line. You're the enforcer. The enforcer.
The enforcer. You want to know? And Rob had called me yesterday, and we were talking about wrestling. He was telling me about, you know, what's going on. And like he says, you know, hey, I've been, you know, I got a wrestle coming up, and I've been posting me going back to training at Devon. So I trained the old school way, mat wrestling and stuff. We were talking about different times. I said, Rob, I said, yeah, I know you haven't been in a ring. I said, best to keep it on the mat, because like Rob, I wasn't as much of a high flyer as Rob, and he did some great things like off the top, but I also flew off the top, right? But as you get older and you're not doing it every night, Your athleticism is still there, but with practice, you could still do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Rob, I said, you know, Rob, I said, now that my character is different and I don't have to be a wrestler, I'm a fighter and a brawler now. Like mostly I stay on the ground. He says, yeah. He says, that's exactly it. And not only Rob, but a few of the other boys who I've been in the business with, they said the same thing. They said, Vito, you don't have to fly no more. You're just the man. And for me as a wrestler, wholeheartedly, it's hard to accept that my character's changed and I don't have to do all these great things. Leapfrog, go off the top, run to the second row, come off, drop a headbutt, you know, and do all these things. I said, Rob, if you just relax and just go to the top once, I think you'd be fine. So do
you think I could get over in a skirt?
Good question.
Say that one more time.
Do you think I could get over wearing a skirt?
Rob, you being the man with those videos before you were married, you know, I think that like you can
Which
get
videos
over.
are those?
Well, I was with you. I was living your dream, having two lovely ladies by you. I said, who wants to be Rob Van Dam? I freaking knocked everybody off the internet and I was going.
Katie books those videos. So.
I'm sure there's some good videos out there. You know, but Rob, you ain't the only guy who's had 2 or 3 ladies. You know, I got Gumans too. You know, I just didn't advertise on, you know, Twitter and social media. I gotta keep things on the down low. You know what I mean?
Different strokes for different folks. That's how it goes. You keep it a different method.
Tom, I noticed that you're wearing a hat and you have an Italian insignia on. Does that mean you're Italian?
Oh yeah, I'm half blood, my dad's side, and so
That means you're not really Italian. No.
Yeah. So I'm German on my dad's my mom's side, but yes. So with D'Angelo last name, and this is the Team Italy World Baseball Classic hat. So I thought I'd represent.
Oh, that's good, man. I'm glad that you're happy. We're having a good time here. For all those people who are gonna watch this, you know, click on the like button, hit up Rob Van Dam, hit up the Big Vito brand. This is something very special. And now, guys, I got to tell you something that's really cool about this man right here. Boys will always be the boys, right? And you don't have to speak for 10 years, 20 years, 13 years, whatever. When the boys are real friends and the boys call your phone, you say, oh, my God, it's Rob. Hey, we could pick up a conversation, and it's like yesterday we spoke. Or when you need something, and this is not wrestling-related bookings because everybody could use work. When it's real-life stuff, and you say, hey, can you help me?
Uh-oh.
Oh, he froze again.
Cliffhanger. It's a cliffhanger again.
He said, can you help me? Help me.
Uh-oh.
Help me. Iceman got him.
The Iceman.
That was my favorite X-Men, by the way.
Was he? Bobby Drake was?
Yes, sir.
Ooh,
from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I knew him from more than the comics.
Oh, really? Okay.
That was my favorite mutant. Well, until I learned about Deadpool.
Deadpool, yeah. Deadpool is sweet. Did you like the Deadpool movies?
Fuck yeah. How could you not?
Yeah, they're fucking... The one with Wolverine, I loved it. Oh, man. So great.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Vito. Dang it.
Vito. Damn.
Oh, he's back. Wait, maybe.
Back with a vengeance.
He's entered the studio, but I don't see him down there.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
We
do have a Maddie super chat, though. I will get that while Vito works out the kinks there on that. It's a good joke. What do you call a Roman with a cold? Julius Sneezer. Oh, my God.
Silly
Goose. There. Vito's back.
All right, back. All right.
Back.
So, like we were saying, you know, I was just saying it's probably Russo trying to cut in, but you know, fuck you, Russo, you're not in. All right. I didn't write the storyline. Phil wrote it for me and Rob. And D'Angelo. All right. So what I was saying is, you know, you don't have to call when you're the real boys and you call and you say, hey, I need help. Guys will always listen. I've helped many wrestlers in my time, just like Rob had, but you don't advertise it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There it is, Rob.
Oh, look at that.
Julius Sneezer.
Julius Sneezer.
Hey, I could have used you with the zombies, Body of Christ, where we
That
that
popped
out.
me so much. The body of Christ
Oh,
popped me big time.
I'm watching Spartacus, by the way, in the gym. It's current. It's something I watched years ago. The series, not the movie, and they stopped. I mean, the original dude that was the principal actor died. They replaced him. I got used to him. They got like to the end of the war, and I don't know how many seasons they did, but they stopped. And now I just saw like it's on again. They brought a guy that died back to life just for the story, but I'm into it, and he's, you know, it's really cool. They're in the same castle that Bardiatus, however you say that fucker's name, from the first season. They're in that.
Oh.
It's entertaining, and I just wanted to say that Spartacus keeps fucking coming up.
You know, Rob. You know, I didn't know if you could ever. You know, you probably be. You know, revolutionize the business if you had Spartacus and a mafia guy like myself standing behind you.
Yeah, right. What
That would be different.
Boy, you could have booked anything you wanted, Rob, with that.
So
there you go. Hey, but you know, but you were talking about the videos of all the girls and stuff. You know, when that started, there was one post I did with me and Katie and Jennifer, and I think everybody missed the point that I made, but they were interested. And then, but the point I was making, I said in that one, I said when I was in WCW in 91, 92, it was a rule you couldn't have wives or girlfriends anywhere near the arena. It was against the rules. And I said, now I got both of them. And that was the you know, the play on words there, whatever, girlfriend and wife. But you remember that though, dude, when it was, the rules were you couldn't bring your fucking family, your wives or girlfriends. I think it was because they would cause heat seeing what the bad boys do, you know, but also they wanted the baby faces to seem more available, I guess.
This is the era of kayfabe Rob Van Dam, where you don't bring your girlfriend, you don't bring your wife, nobody allowed in the dressing room. Family stays outside. You're gonna have your family come; they can stay in their fan. You know, and that's what's missing in wrestling today. You know what I'm saying? And if they had those old values like they did back then, I think the wrestling business would be more robust and more like you could dig into it. You know, we back then, like Rob said, you know what I mean? Like that's how we were brought up in the business. And then recently, Triple H and WWE and Rikishi brought up a point of saying there's no comp tickets, you have to buy them, right? But you know, but then in the same token, family's not supposed to be backstage. When I was in the WWF, right back in '91, when my first year, they were graciously enough gave me tickets for family to sit in the front row at the Manhattan Center or any place else I went, right?
Yeah.
God forbid nobody was ever allowed backstage.
And just so nobody misunderstands what I was saying, I was in WCW from December of 91 till like May of 92. Anyway, it was a 1 year later. Anyway, at that time, under Mike Graham's rule, no girlfriends or wives were allowed in the arena, not in the stands.
In the arena,
you couldn't have. You could get dropped off like at Center Stage down there in Peachtree in Atlanta. You get dropped off by a wife or girlfriend. You got to kiss them and say, "Hey, you know, pick me up at 10 o'clock tonight." They weren't allowed to be there, and I'm not exactly sure why, but it was a clear and spoken rule.
Wow.
Yeah.
What if they bought a ticket, Rob? What if they bought a ticket and went?
Well, then you would get heat. They would get their husband or boyfriend heat if they did that.
Sure. Okay.
This is a true story.
I used to always think it was because they wanted the sex appeal. They wanted the baby faces to seem available. They wanted to try to think they could sell tickets to girls, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
See Tommy Rogers, you know, and you know whoever. But also now having a bigger picture. I think it probably also had a lot to do with the ring rats that were around and the boys that were messing with them and the heat that would cause. Because whenever I can remember, like whenever like wives would come to shows, they always gossip, you know, and what do you know, and they sit together and that's part of what goes on. And I think back, if you go back far enough, that the office actually wanted control over that.
Oh,
I believe, you know, like when you talk about the 90s and where we broke into business, right? No girlfriends, no wives. You don't bring anybody. Heels and baby face is separate. If you were in an angle, God forbid you were dropped off with the person you were married to in an angle. You got ridiculous heat. Memphis, Tennessee, USWA. You rode with the baby face or heels. If the baby face gave the heel a ride, you got dropped off 3 blocks. You had to walk 3 blocks to go get your ride.
yeah.
And that's the truth, right? And as far as the ladies go, right? Yes. And I hate to say, like, you know, everybody calls them ring rats, like it's kind of disrespectful, right? I came up with this term, which is more endearing. I used to call them sponsors, right? Sponsors, right? Because all in all, right, these ladies.
That's what we call them in Japan too, but the sponsors can be men or women in Japan.
Right.
Yeah.
So sponsors, right? They take care of you. And if it wasn't for some of these sponsors to get you through the rough times in the business when it wasn't paying so much, maybe you wouldn't have made it or stuck around. So kudos to that time and the sponsors who did that stuff, because you did help a lot of people. And and it's something that's maybe like not bragging, but when I was in ECW, right, I used to travel with a bunch of young guys, and guys would say, you know, Vito, you never go out. You give us the car, you give us the hotel room, or you always get your own room. You let us have a good time. Once in a while, I go out, right? But they didn't realize that I had a freaking good room, right? So they think I was sitting in the room because I didn't smoke, I didn't drug, I didn't do anything. I just trained and I was just focused on wrestling, right? So when you talk about wrestling back then, right, nobody can understand. Vito doesn't go out, doesn't do anything, right? But Vito had somebody come into the room between the hours this time and this time, right? We're all trying. I'm over there getting tucked in. He said, have a good night. So
You just had other methods. That's it.
yeah, but those were the fun times in the wrestling business. And I think what killed things is when guys started writing books. Guys write books and they tell tales of their road stories. The boys are the boys, and what you do with the boys, stay with the boys. And people ask me all the time, you have had such a life and a career, write a book. I said, if I wrote a book, half the industry would be in uproar, because what happened with us, it stays with us, and it's not for everybody's knowledge. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, you take.
Oh no, he froze again.
I'm telling you, it is freezing in Florida.
It's very cold. Very cold. My goodness.
Cold fucking front.
Cold front going down. We did have another. Oh, he's gone. We did have another super chat here, Rob. It's from Frankie Turizo, and he asks you. Oh, he is back. Did you have some epic matches before Danny Crockett? I can look for. What would you tell modern young guys to improve their match quality? We'll ask Vito this too. Welcome back, Vito.
All right.
Rob, this guy asked a question. Frankie asked Rob a question. Did you have some epic matches before Danny Crockett I can look for? And then you can answer this one too, Vito. What would you tell the modern young guys to improve their match quality?
Okay. Yeah, I read that wrong the first time. Shit. You know, before that, I mean, there was a time where like every time I would, like when I was in South Atlantic, I was so young and green and inexperienced. Like every single time I would have a show like on TV, I would outdo like my best match. You know what I mean? And then that would always feel epic. And for me, sometimes it would just be the difference of getting a new move on TV or whatever. Sweet, I got the one where I stand on the rope and boom, 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 and
Yeah.
and then TV tomorrow, I want to go with complete different moves and show those off. And it became about that. As far as having a solid match with a veteran worker like Danny Crawford, as far as I can remember right now, I think that was my first epic match.
Wow. How about that?
1996, I believe. It was 95 or 96. But I'll kick it around in my head and I'll interrupt everyone and say, "Wait, I got it." If something else crosses my mind, but that was where was I before that? I was I was in IWF, I was in South Atlantic, I was in WCW. Nothing epic.
Nothing epic. Maybe something will hit you though.
Maybe, but for me, I remember that was the first time that I felt the crowd's interaction like that, and Abdul the Butcher always called Crawford the master. You're the master, and he was really good at. He was good at wrestling. It was, he had fun out there. Loved putting everything together. Loved the storytelling aspect of it. I remember that match. It was the first time that Giant Baba gave me a single match in the Budokan, which is always the last show of every tour in front of 17,000 people. I used to always be in a 6-man, sometimes a tag. And I never really noticed, I guess, until I finally got a singles match, and it was for the junior heavyweight title. Crawford had the strap, and he told me beforehand, like earlier in the tour, like when we found out we were going to be working 4 or 5 days before, whatever. He goes, I want you to tell me all the moves that you like to do in a match, all of them. I want to hear all of them. Just let me think about it.
Because you're not doing one of them during the
match. But as far as I know now, like it seems like before that match, maybe I didn't even know how to place them in the match or whatever accordingly in the best way because during that match, everything meant so much more than it ever did. Every little thing we were doing was building, and the crowd was getting more and more invested in it. And then we'd hit them with a big payoff, and they'd be, ooh, and clapping with their feet on the ground, stomping. And I was just learning on the spot, like, holy fuck, man, this is a pivotal night. And I didn't know I'd be remembering it fucking 30 years later, but I definitely am.
How about that? Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, we got to go back and watch that match. Man. Vito, did you have a match akin to that for yourself? Like that was like, oh, I really feel like this was my most memorable match to date that I had starting off early.
You guys got to remember that, like my first year of training, I wound up in the WWF doing developmental matches, right? Mm-hmm. So here I am. My first match, I was wrestling the Rockers. I wrestled Bret Hart. I wrestled Legion of Doom. I wrestled British Bulldog. I wrestled The Undertaker. This is my first year. Like the second year, I was already in Japan, and then I was going to Puerto Rico. So I wasn't an indie guy as per se. I was already working with the best workers in the world, the guys on TV. So I was different. So then when I used to do indies, like Rob said, if Demolition was coming off TV, the Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov, S.T. Jones, all these guys were coming off. And they say, I want to work with him just because I work with the guys in WWF TVs and I could take bumps and I listened and I was sponge and I could take bumps. And then as the years went on, I used to be the guy to work with Jimmy Snooker and Demolition and all those greats who entertained us for years. And the Honky Tonk Man was very influential. But when you have those guys, of all different shapes and sizes, and you're working with them, like Bill Eadie, right? You talk about one of the toughest guys in the business. He doesn't get recognition, but
Yeah.
he was with the Super Machines, Andre and Haku. You got to be pretty tough to hang with them. So when you wrestling Bill Eadie on a regular basis, and he's teaching you, you don't realize years later how valuable it was, and then you try to pass it on, to the young guys. And all those guys of that era, you know what I mean? They actually taught me. They didn't treat me like I was an enhancement talent. They gave me offense on TV. So my first year, I'm wrestling in front of 17,000 people in the prime of WWF years, and I'm like, this is awesome, but you don't even realize like you didn't make it. You're just getting a taste.
Right.
So I mean, I was a territory guy.
Mm-hmm.
And, like Rob wrestling in WCW his first year, you got the taste of wrestling in front of big crowds like I did. And it wasn't until years, a few years under your belt, that you start to get some recognition when you went someplace and like the gentleman he wrestled. And then when he popped on ECW and everybody says, okay, who's this guy? Because Van Dam was hot in the movies. Here's Rob Van Dam with the name. Even I looked at him. I go as far back as when X-Pac just came up, and I was at the Manhattan Center doing TVs when he beat Razor Ramon. I was there when the Hardys broke in, and we were all young guys. It's just that I was already doing this level. They came in and they had the jump. Aldo Montoya was there, BJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he had a great run in ECW. But he had the run in WWF, and just that you could be so overwhelmed you don't know what to do, and you get your life just goes crazy, or you grow with it and you learn and nurture. So it just goes different ways for different guys.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy to think that X-Pac did what we would call a moonsault, sloppy, off to the side, like moonsault to a standing Razor Ramon, and at the time that blew our minds. Like,
right?
Holy fuck, what did he just do?
Yeah.
That tells you how different the wrestling style was.
Well, who was the first guy who did the moonsault? Remember, Bam Bam Bigelow did a moonsault at 400 pounds, and he went to the side, and you just said. Because remember, New Yorkers and us Northerners didn't know anything about any other wrestling except WWF and WOF.
Yeah.
Lanny Poffo used to do it off the second rope, and it wasn't called a moonsault, but I would watch him do that, and that might have been the first time I saw it.
Wow. Yeah.
The most incredible one was Memphis Memory Show on the opening match, and that's where the history of Memphis comes in. Everybody comes in. When I seen Terry Funk do a moonsault off the second rope, I was like, wow.
In his 50s, right?
Yeah, it's 50.
And what's crazy is I'm 55 now, and nobody would give a fuck if I did it.
Yeah, nobody would give a shit if you did it.
Yeah. I just had a match last week. I had a match with Congo Kong. Anybody, if you guys know of him? Congo Kong. 6'10".
Oh,
okay.
Wow. So me being Vito, I said, all right. He says, all right, Vito, we went there. I said, well, we're going to start off with a standing suplex. I'll give you this. And, he just looked at me. I said, yeah, I can still do it. And I said, no, I'm only kidding. I said, listen, I said, you are 6'10". I said, this is going to be a fight. I said, there's no wrestling here.
Yeah.
I said, you are going to give me some big moves. I said, you're going to look great. And I'm bumping for this kid and doing everything. But when I tell you I hit him hard and went at him, it was like, okay. And that's the difference with wrestling those guys.
Yeah.
Congo
Khan, there he is. Wow.
With 10. Right?
Thank you to our high-tech production team.
Look at that. So we got everybody's behind the scenes.
But you talk about when I hit him with the first chop, you could have heard it echo 3 blocks down.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the guys who wrestled.
I did hear it.
Yeah. Guys who wrestled me when I was a kid, right? And they said they were strong and they was tough and they were solid and they hit you in the right places. Here's what I was doing with this guy, right?
Yeah.
And there was no miscommunication behind this match. It was a fight.
Right.
You know, and like Rob and I were talking about at this time of our careers, you know, maybe we got to be on the mat more. But let me tell you something. Being in the position I'm in, I don't have to wrestle. And I'm fighting because going off the second rope, the third rope, it's only for special events and they're paying your bonus.
That's it. Pick and choose your moments. That's it.
I'm gonna learn to wrestle like Giant Baba. Like he used to. He would pick up one leg, but the way he would do it, he would lean in the corner on the top rope.
Yeah.
People would feed in, and he would like pick up one leg, and you know we would all run into it one by one, and I ate that boot myself. It was devastating.
And then his chops, the way you sold this. Now here's the boss.
Yeah,
Greatest Japanese company in the world is either All Japan or New Japan.
Right.
And if you wanted a job back, you better sell that shit like it was like Babe Ruth hitting a home run. If you pump it, but yeah, you know, and the way you sold for him, it was like Rob is right. You ate it, you tasted good. Thank you very much. Can I have another? Right? I see the chat is blowing up. I'm not in the chat, guys. I'm not ignoring you. Thank you very much for all the great compliments. I can't believe like all the nice things everybody's saying. I'm telling you, thank you.
Yeah, we got a lot of people cooking in the chat for sure. There's so many comments going on here. People are loving it. I'll pop a couple up here. So Vito is a natural and deserves his roses this run. He's on incredible in this last of an era. Yeah, Vito, you are on quite the renaissance actually. Like, how does it feel kind of being in like this, just the kind of rejuvenated persona and this kind of new kind of spin on who you've been as a wrestler throughout the career?
I think it's like one of the greatest things that can happen to me at this time in my life. And, you know, everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had good runs in every company I have been in, right? And people don't realize, like, I've been in all the companies. I always had a run. There was never a time when I was just like, you're there, you're doing jobs, doing something. I had something significant, and then it was ended. But like this one, this is a culmination of everything. And here I am after all the years on the road, everything. I'm the Don. I'm in charge. I paid my dues, right? I bought some dues. I paid some dues. I gave some dues. You know, I did my due diligence. And here I am standing tall, looking like $1 million and still fighting and taking on all these young guys. And I haven't, not that I haven't missed a step, you know what I mean? But my steps are more calculated.
Right.
You know? And
absolutely.
like when I have to go, I'm going to go. And when there's a young kid in there who wants to fly, hey, you're going to fly when I say you can fly. But, you know, it's going to be something that's good. People are going to want to watch. Right now, I'm the biggest heel in wrestling, and I am blessed by that, and I'm happy with it. And I'm happy to be the Juggalo's bad guy. Let me tell you something. Those Juggalo people, and anybody who don't know the history of Juggalos, so they are the most loving, happy people who want to hide behind their face paint and clown makeup and want to see their problems go away for the 2 or 3 hours they could be sprayed with Fago and have a good time and listen to the greatest ICP music and just rock away. And the first tour I was on, I'm listening to their music. I said, this is my kind of music. But watching the people glamour and just do their thing, it was great. So I understand their lifestyle, right? But here I come, the crusader of hate. And I want you to wipe all that shitty clown makeup off your faces. And tonight, Fago is not coming out.
I pop every time you say, quit clowning around. It's always unexpected. It always seems like you really made it.
Or the best line of all is somebody actually made a Twitter account, which is great. You know, the cream soda. Have a cream soda. You feel better. Right? What happened to Vinny?
Clone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there it is. Run around.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you want to know something about Kevin Nash, right? This is something that's pretty cool. And something that affected me in the wrestling business, and this is for something for everybody maybe to go like look at, and like it really made a difference in my career. He came out one day on WCW and he made a speech about promoters in the wrestling business. And it was very, very Kevin. Yeah, you see, look at that.
Heck yeah. Look at that.
Look at that.
Who's the guy across, that's not me or Joe?
Is that Vince? I think that's Vince.
Oh,
That's fucking Vince. He tries to get in on everything. He probably wrote that vignette. Anyway. So he made such a significant thing, and he said the right things at the right time in the business where guys had to get paid, the promoters could make all the money, and like it was something very significant in my career. And I listened to that and I said, now. And then you look at where we are today, where the boys are now on the road every 2 and 3 weeks at a time. Mm-hmm. Money is plentiful, where guys are maybe not making top dollar, but they're making the top dollar of yesteryear, right? Because everybody's making this great money.
You're not going to tell us what he said?
Yeah. He just said you can't let these blood-sucking promoters ruin your life, and you got to get what's yours now. And what we do for a living, you have to get paid. And like you said a bunch of other great things, but like the promo, if you guys go back and scroll and play it on another show.
Yeah.
And the things he says in comments, he's a true guy who's a wrestling guy, along with Scott Hall, because Scott Hall and him, psychology-wise, right? When you talk strictly wrestling, not personal, strictly wrestling, they told the truth on how wrestling is. And even the days in ECW when Rob was the main guy, and you had Taz, and you had Sabu, and you had Tommy Dreamer, and you had this one, that one, you know. And then here I come, and I'm having matches with every single one of them. And I went to Paul. I said, Paul, I says, you know, I think I'd like to move up on a card. Respect. And I was happy to be there. I had no qualms. Right. You know, I do not have a spot for a singles guy. We had Raven. We had Sandman, and like Justin Crab. We had like all these singles guys, and that's how the Baldies came out. And then when we got together, we made a significant run before I left for WCW. And if the Baldies would have stayed together with me and that group would have made better strides than what it did.
Yeah, I could totally see that too. Because my first impression for you, I was a WCW kid. So like when you came into WCW, I was like, who is this guy? I was like, he's Italian. I was like, I love this guy. And like, oh yeah, I saw that too, Rob. It's the Toy Story version.
I like it. One of a kind, RVD.
Yeah, heck yeah, I love it.
We're action figures.
Yeah, it's the Toy Story version.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but like, so it blew my mind when I was like, whoa, this guy was in ECW before that. And so, like, I could, but knowing the Baldies and the kind of attitude and you know personality you brought there, I could definitely see that faction making strides in other companies too.
That was a group that fought with New Jack, Balls and Axel, right?
Yeah.
And like at that time, those guys were the hardcore of hardcore, and here we come. You know what I'm saying? And where I already had experience doing that in Puerto Rico. Here you have.
Was it you and Tony DeVito?
Yeah, me, Tony DeVito, Angel, and PN News.
At first, just the two of you, right, or no?
No, it was all of us at one time.
Okay.
We had a thing with New Jack, and you know when we did the thing, and then Balls and Axel joined. It was 4 against 3, but those were the icons of hardcore. So it was kind of even. So we fought on Legacy and the 3, you know, and they were 3 great performers. And there were a lot of great performers in ECW. And it was a special locker room. If one guy fought, we all fought. If one guy had a problem, we all had a problem. Hey, Rob, do you remember we were in, I think, the Carolinas? New Jack was giving a tryout to some young wrestler, New Jack being an African American, and this guy being a neo-Nazi.
Oh my God!
Coming into our bed. I don't know if you remember this. And I'm sitting here, we're watching this, and the guy says the N-word to New Jack during their tryout.
Oh boy!
Well, he just said, what did you say to me? And they went at it in the ring, right? So they're going toe to toe. And then the guy had guys there. So I'm on the side and he pulls there. I say, oh shit, this is going down. So they break it up, they take the kid in the thing. So Jack is going, where is that motherfucker? That's it. Let's go. Right?
Yeah.
Jack walked right in there and picked up again. Bang, bang, bang. Me both with freaking separate, letting them go, and Jack got the upper hand. And we were all ready to fight. And how many times, no matter what happened in ECW during who's doing whatever, if there ever was a problem, this was family. And you talk about all the dressing rooms you've been in, that was a special dressing room. And I say that all the time.
Man, yeah.
That's true. But yeah, I don't know about that shit. That's what was the kid thinking, right?
Right.
You're coming in for a tryout and he's trying to be tough against a guy who's known as a crazy person. And I'm probably one of the few people who could say this, and I used to say it all the time. I used to call him by his first name. I used to call him Jerome all the time.
Did you?
It's the funniest thing. And no, how could you?
Sure, he prefers that over the N-word.
Yeah. Right, so Fern Jerome. So I had a hand up on it. He says, Vito, he's new. I said, no, he's Jerome. And this has been one of the best interviews. I'm laughing the whole time. You guys are making a shitload of money, and we got people in the chat. Who's better than us?
Right. We're killing it tonight for sure. No doubt about it. Somebody did have a super chat for you, Vito. They said, oh, yeah. Ex Danny says, best seminar I went to was a Vito seminar. Oh, nice.
Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. Guys, when I do a seminar, I just don't do wrestling. I break it down for them from your body to skincare to your teeth to your face. No, I mean, really, because when you think about it, when you look at yourself on TV, I always look at myself and say, all right, my teeth are clear. All right, good. My beard is trimmed. My face is good.
Definitely not the way Sheik taught me. I'm just going to say. But Danny didn't call you the N-word, right?
No, not at all. So, but then you break it down and say, hey, what is the wrestling business looking for today? And nobody has an answer. I said, bodies. They want athletes. Guys, you have to have a look. They don't give a shit if you can wrestle because they will train you. Yeah. Right? So then everybody looks at you and says, that's right. So you have to go to the gym. You have to train. You can't go from the couch to a wrestling school and then say you're going to get in shape. You got to get in shape before you go to the wrestling school and then go. That's like in the 90s when people said, yeah, I'm going to go down and work for Carlos, get in shape. He just gave you a job, jackass. So you think you should be in shape when you go for the job.
Right. It's like not dressing up for the interview, basically.
Right. Yeah. But then training, the way Rob broke in and I broke in and like the guys from the 90s, basics. If you can't get up, you can't wrestle. And I was notorious for taking guys to the mat. I would leg dive Sabu, leg dive Rob. I would leg dive everybody because that's the way I broke in. And then when I went to Japan, what did I do? Mat wrestling. I didn't give a shit who you were. I was taking you down from Gary Albright to Steve Williams to everybody because that's how I was trained.
Shit. Who trained you, Vito?
Well, the guy doesn't really give me any credit because he's with Tommy Dreamer. But Johnny Rods.
Johnny Rods, okay.
Johnny Rods.
Yeah.
I'm like the notorious misfit of wrestling sometimes because nobody claims me, like on a public level. So I'm kind of out there. I mean, I could say Rob trained me, taught me. Hey, listen, you fucked up. It's 10,000 Hindu fuck won't catch me. So take it.
Oh, man.
Go ahead, D'Angelo. Say it. Vito, you are the best fucking guest ever. You're better than Russo. You're better than all these fucking high-priced assholes.
We got the Don in the house, man.
That's it. Stop fucking clowning around.
I'm going to hit the go buzzer.
So, Vito, who was your dad a fan of then if he grew up a fan of wrestling? Was he Bruno?
You have to say, Bruno when you're watching TV, and then you just have to say Hogan and Flair.
Sure,
the Macho Man, the Ultimate Warrior, and here I am in '91 walking into this dressing room, and who are all these guys I watched, and you're like, wow, my very first match in the dressing room was Alpha and Sika, Ken Patera, the fucking Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov, Johnny Rods, S.D. Jones, Cousin Luke. I said, fuck, I'm gonna get my ass kicked in here because he's a big, thick man. I'm this fucking basketball kid, and I'm like, fuck, man, I better shut up and sit the fuck down. Say nothing.
Right?
Ken Patera was at my first show.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. I've told the story several times about Abdullah the Butcher, how his chair collapsed that he was sitting on and popped me. But yeah.
Ken Patera, he's a hell of a character, man. I was watching an episode he did with Briscoe and Bradshaw, and man, the stories he had, and he just had like a chew in the whole fucking time. He's something else.
You talk about Ken Patera. Now, here's another thing. If we talk about being athletes, Iron Sheik, gold medal Olympic wrestler, right? Ken Patera, strongest man in the world.
Yeah.
You talk about Nikolai Volkov, right? He was something special in his country before he came here. And those guys were legit big, thick men. I wrestled Ivan Koloff in '94 in North Carolina. First time he grabbed me was the first time I felt manpower, and he grabbed my wrist like this. And I just stopped in the ring, and I was like, fuck, what the fuck is this? I swear to God, I tell that story all the time. You know, and then when I went to Japan, and then I wrestled some guys who were Olympic wrestlers and like sumo wrestlers, right? And I was like, I could hold my own till one guy, I forget his name, he grabbed me in the Northern Lights. I don't know. It was like, all I could tell you, it was like, as I was hooked, it was gone. I called him gone. Because it wasn't like me wiggling, me jumping. This son of a bitch had me. And I was like, holy shit. And I went. I didn't even live. And I was 260. And like I was a feather. And it like went, didn't jump, and he took me. And like that's the kind of power these men had. And like there was no goofing around. You know what I mean? These were men with men bodies who trained that way, like work with steel. And that's the difference between today's wrestler and yesterday's wrestler is today's wrestler is so thin and muscular, no body fat. That's why everybody gets hurt. When you talk about before, I mean, I used to be as big as 290 at one time. I used to walk like 75, 265. You know what I mean? I was just one big son of a bitch, but able to do all the stuff that I could do. I was like, I was a different human being. Now I'm like 220 and less, 210 sometimes, 205. You know, and it depends.
Cruiserweight.
Yeah, cruiserweight shit.
Yeah.
But I prefer to be like this than be heavy because I'm more comfortable.
Vito, that's interesting you say that though. Like that. So you think it's the body types is why wrestlers get hurt more often nowadays than not?
In all sports, and this goes for all sports. When you talk about football, right? Nick Buskis and all these great linebackers, Lyle Alzado, the Gassino, Klecko, all these guys, they were monsters, right? They never had injuries. They come out, play. I broke my finger. They snap it back, and they were good, right?
Right.
Today's body is so defined and muscular, and everything shows. There's no fat on you, right? And that's why everybody gets hurt. And you know what? Technique has a lot to do with it. But when you talk about ECW, I bet you if we went on a 3-week tour at ECW and all the stuff we were doing, everybody would come home with no injuries.
Yeah. I mean, like, and you look at somebody like Rob, like when you were going and stuff like that, Rob was like, he was like, not as big as like a Hogan or anything like that, but you could still tell that he was thick. You know what I mean? And like that still delivered that kind of.
About Rob doing the stuff like him and Robin Sabu, right?
Yeah.
They were the bias, basically. Jumping from the ring to the outside, jumping from the top of a rail to the to the crowd, jumping from the top here to get, hoping and praying that somebody would cushion you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, some guys will let you dive on the mat. That's a tough hit.
Yeah.
And doing that 2 or 3 nights in a row takes the toll back. when I was hardcore champion in WCW, and I had learned hardcore really, really well in ECW, right?
Mhm.
Here I am, hardcore champion. I did like 5 days in a row, like every week I was on the road. My body was hurting because I was banging and going and banging and hurting. You can't do that every day.
Right.
I would like to get hit in the head with a chair every night, a kendo stick every night, week after week after week, and you're like, okay, how much could you take? You're a tough son of a bitch, and you're walking around, but you don't know what you're doing to your body or your head. But shit, I remember one night my body was exhausted. They had to help me from the car. I was done. And then they said, Vito, you're off TV. I marched myself in the fucking off. You're not taking me off TV. I'm the fucking champion. And they said, Vito, calm down. I said, would you just? I don't need a break. I'm fucking here, right? Because it wasn't. You don't take breaks. Rob can tell you. Rob, I mean, you probably dealt with, bruises and with the flexibility that you have. I'm sure you've had strains and calves and hamstrings, and your body gets bruised. You just don't say nothing.
Yeah, I remember one time. This was before I got my one and only surgery, which was on my left knee, but I was sore on that knee since before I even came into WWE in 2001. I tore it in Thailand doing this Black Mask 2 movie, and I didn't want anyone to know, but I knew my knee was fucked up, and I went another 4 years until finally it locked up, and I had to get it operated on. But when it was getting worse and worse, I remember one time walking through the dressing room, and I guess I had a pretty bad limp, and I didn't, I wasn't trying to sell it. And Spike Dudley says, he said, Rob, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm fine. And I just kept going. My leg was really fucking hurting. And he said, I don't think you'd tell us if you were dead. Which, of course, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't talk. But
you'd be, yeah.
I'll always remember that quote from Spike. But yeah, no, my rule that I got taught by Sabu and by Sheik is if you can work, then you're not hurt. If it comes to a point where you absolutely can't work, then at that point you're hurt. And that's where I was when I needed knee surgery, because my leg wouldn't straighten out or bend. It was just stuck at a fucking angle, and couldn't walk right or whatever. So I had to get that. I couldn't work. Maybe the only time really that I've been hurt.
Wow.
So take Sabu. Now Sabu's our brother, right?
Right.
And that's Rob's super brother, and you probably shared a lot of stuff together. But you look at the toll wrestling took on his body. Now that guy could jump, had some hops. He could jump from the top rope out, and doing that on a nightly basis, right? Even when he couldn't, he was still doing it. But the toll it took on his body, right? And then the barbed wire matches, which I was petrified, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to scar up. I tell people that, there you go.
Hey. Oh, look at that. That's
the real
sweet,
right
Rob.
there.
Damn.
That's the real deal right there, guys.
That's real shit right there. Look at that. That's awesome, Rob.
And you talk about Sabu doing that not only in ECW at the time, but then he used to go on tours and then go through, tour the world doing the same moves, right? And then everybody says, well, he takes XYZ. But for you people out there, our bodies are human, and sometimes you do need something to get through. I take ibuprofen 800. I would never admit I'm not a drug guy. I'm not I don't enhance in like the smoke or nothing like that. And it's nothing bad. It's just what people prefer. Like my wife does it. Rob does it. Like just because their bodies.
Hey, stooge.
Yeah, but he was keeping that kayfabe,
Hey, listen. Wait a second. This is my fucking show. All right, what the fuck? Anyway, and probably I'll even stooge you all out. Fucking Russo does it. Where do you think all this funny shit comes from?
Hey, by the way, speaking of old school wrestlers and being in shape, trivia fact. Did you know? Because I know he knows. Like, yeah, he knows. But I don't know if you know. But Angelo Poffo, Randy's and Lanny's father, had the world record for what, Vito?
Was it
Sit-ups.
Oh, was it sit-ups?
I was going to say sit-ups or squats.
I thought it was Hindu squats. That was what I was going to guess.
I think that's a wrestling kind of thing, but yeah. So I remember when Sabu told me that, like I was real young in business, because I remember saying, "Really? Like he doesn't have abs?" And Sabu was like, "Sit-ups and abs don't have anything to do with each other."
So get this out, right? And now we're talking about like guys who keep fit. Everybody, Rob, you remember this guy, Rob? I'm going to mention your name. There you go. There's a pup. They don't pup. So here it is. Everybody remembers Jack LaLanne.
Yes.
Everybody mocked Jack LaLanne. Look at the city is fit. The smartest guy before his time, kept in shape. Now, what is everybody doing today? Jack LaLanne.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still remember when gyms were hard to find. I know you do too. Like there was like one in each town or something.
Yeah.
People that were jogging on the sidewalk were freaks.
Right. And that
guy lived till 90. He was like 90 when he passed away or something.
Yeah, in shape. And then freaking Richard Simmons came along. Oh, you don't need fucking gyms. Just come with me and do fucking Pilates.
Right?
Yeah. And then Richard Simmons became the next big fucking health freak. Right? And everybody had a smile on their face. Everybody having orange juice.
My mom loved Richard Simmons when I was a kid.
Would she do it in the house, Rob?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
We'd be doing aerobics in the living room, bent over, because listen to him saying, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Come on, ladies.
Come on, ladies.
Come on, ladies. Everybody laughed.
Gay was. We didn't know what gay was. Like, it was like years later when it was like, my mom was like, I don't know. Some people think he's gay. I don't think so.
So, and then for all the real old timers out there, for kids back then, right? So you had Jack LaLanne trying to get in shape. You had Richard Simmons coming on. The ladies trying to keep their shit. 9 o'clock around CBS. Tom Jones would fucking come on. Everybody go to bed. It's mom time. All right, you don't need to know their workout.
In my house, my parents did Galad. Did you guys ever know of Galad? He was Bodies in motion. Bodies in motion, baby.
Bodies in motion.
Yep. That was our big one in the house.
How we doing in the chat? I still see it buzzing here.
Dude, we're blowing up in the chat here a lot. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm popping this one up. When Vito was in WCW Tag Team Champ, I was happy as a clam at 8 years old. Yeah, that was.
What are you doing snoozing off fucking ages? What are you, a clown? What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Body of Christ. Body of Christ.
Body of Christ. Body of Christ. Let's see. I'm trying to find them.
Hey, listen, you're supposed to be doing an interview. I'm doing the interview. You're fucking laughing like a fan.
Here we go. Any FBI stories, Vito?
With Nunzio?
Yeah.
Every day with Nunzio, the stuttering prick. Oh, wow. Since you do this, and Rob's going to go over here and this got Taz. And I'm the dreamer and everything. And, come on, we got to go. And let's go to the sandwich shop, And, when he'd order a sandwich, listen, how you doing? I just want a turkey. And make sure you scoop the bread all out, get the fat out of there. And the best one of all, WWE, FBI. John Laurinaitis goes, hey, Vito, how you doing? John Laurinaitis, VP of Operations. How you doing, buddy? Hey, listen, Vito, we're going to put you in a video game. It's going to be great. You're going to make some money. All right, man, I'll see you down at the TV. Thank you. Right? Hey, Nunch, look at this. I'm going to be in a fucking video game. Right? He sits on the bed. Am I going to be in the video game? I said, well, no, it was my phone call. I really didn't ask if you're going to be in the fucking game. I've been here 7 years. and they disrespect me like this, wait till I go to the fucking arena. I'm going to talk to that Laurinaitis. True story. I said, dude, just don't fuck my shit up, please.
Yes.
Oh, fucking! I love it. I was a huge mark for Little Guido in ECW, big time. My God.
I'm telling you. Hey, listen, you're sitting here, you're having such a good time. Why don't you donate $5 to the fucking club? Do me a favor, D'Angelo, huh? Go in your pockets. Rob, tell him, Rob.
What's the club?
Yeah, what club am I joining here? What's the deal?
The club. We want to tell it on National Day. You know, it's a friggin' La Casa Nostra. You know, it's close. You know, it's quiet. All right, you want to be in? You want to be a friend of ours? Donate $5.
I get it.
Well, in all fairness, that's definitely better than the old initiation rules for for becoming a member. So
Yeah.
$5 as opposed to murdering somebody.
Like a blood oath or nothing. Didn't have to do that at least.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not even going to steal a
that's
rug.
coming up. That's coming up later.
Let's see here. We got some other super chats here. Maddie asked you this, Rob. What was your idea behind the whole effing show?
It was something that I spontaneously said when I did the split, which is on film with Fonzie, when I did the 166.5 pounds in, what was it, Lebanon or Pigeon Forge, Pennsylvania, whatever the fuck that town's called. And I don't think I knew that I was going to say it. I just, I was doing the split and I picked up the weight and they blew their whistles or whatever when I held it high enough and I dropped it. And it was, you know what it was? It was a spoof, for lack of a better word, but it was a play on Shawn Michaels being the showstopper.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's called himself, the showstopper. And he was the number one guy in the business at the time. And so after I did the split, boom, I said, I never claimed to be a showstopper. I'm Rob Van Dam. I'm the effing show, or something like that.
Yes. Young Rob Van Dam impersonation is the best.
Yo, Rob, I had the same thing happen to me. When I was dating one of my gumas and I used to split their legs, they said, you're the whole fucking show. What a view.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Hey.
Nailed it.
Donate $5.
Hey, come on. Donate to the club. Maddie asks you this, guys. You guys can both answer if you want. Thoughts on Paul Heyman and the Vision?
The Vision?
Yeah.
The Vision is one of my favorite of the five senses.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Being able to see. Andy's a cool character in, is it the Marvel Universe?
Marvel Universe.
I think so.
That's it.
And Paul is a very smart man, and he's very colorful and funny. And big.
Paul Heyman was a great motivator of the troops.
Yeah.
And a vision, he wanted to get ECW, even though I was there 1 year. And the heart and soul of everybody and his vibe and what he wanted to accomplish. But his motivation of how to get you to be involved in the show and for the position he put you in, his vision was always great. Maybe it didn't come out to be WWE-esque, but let me tell you something. At that time in 98, we were right there. Might not have been number one, but we were definitely number two.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Respect to all the old ECW guys who put their time in.
Right. Vito, where did you get all your...
I just said we were number one to me. You know, I didn't want to go anywhere. I was like, fuck, man, if we could just grow enough and get a chance to be in front of enough people, man, a lot of them are going to stick because they can't look away. It's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. That was the vision, you know, which, hey, it was a good vision. It was optimistic. It was something to really look forward to, you know. Didn't end up being what actually happened, but it was definitely a good way of life, I think, over being disappointed or who knows what could have happened in any alternate universe. Vision knows. The Vision knows.
The Vision knows from Marvel Comics.
You want to know another great thing? Like, and this is for the young promoters out there.
Yeah.
Right? Paul Heyman had a vision of what he wanted his brand to be. A lot of guys who are promoters today want to copy WWE, but they're trying to copy something that they'll never be able to do. But if they have their mind on what their own wrestling perception is, it would behoove them to do their own because people will accept it more than trying to do a cheap copy of what you see on TV.
Yeah, absolutely. When Paul was cooking up ECW and getting all that edgy kind of aspect of it, how much of that was his own kind of thought process, and how much did he take from a lot of the talent in the locker room and see where their kind of creativity was, if that makes sense?
It does make sense. I'm sure Rob can answer that better than I can. But when you came through the door, he already had an idea for you. But Rob can tell you more because he was with Paul on a more one-on-one basis than I was.
I'm not sure if I can fit in the word behoove.
Yeah. Ooh, I like behoove.
No, what was the question again?
So how much did Paul use his own organic sense of like what the culture was of that time in comparison to taking what was the personality of you guys and making it unique for the ECW product and the brand itself, like creating that ECW vision, so to speak?
If I understand the question right, I think that a lot of his best decision making was in opening up the doors and letting us flow through them. You know what I mean? There was a lot of creative minds in the dressing room. And when I first got there, a lot of the stuff that was going on in the show, just the theme, the music, the colors, just like everything was so different than anything that I had seen. And I don't think it was all Paul. You know, I think you know that Raven was like really influential in his perspective and everything. You know, like, you know, Dreamer, Sandman, the guys that were close to Paul, they had their takes, you know, their opinions and stuff. But a lot of that, I think, was just having those really colorful people there to open up and let express themselves.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And like, and kind of the tie loosens a little bit too with Paul. I'm sure like he didn't have as much, you know, hey, this, you know, parameters that Vince would have, or, you know.
Right. And I think he was good at recognizing when they would have, you know, a good idea. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, you know, it could be anyway. I don't know. It could be Stevie Richards coming up to him or something and with an idea. And I think that Paul would be really good at being, oh, I love it. You know, because he's thinking about how that's going to, or he'll find a way to even, you know, add some fucking hot sauce on it or something and make it a little better. And then, and he's good at knowing the crowd, knowing the fans and what they want and predicting how they're going to react to certain things. And so a lot of it was guidance, not just him staying up all night, you know, thinking of all these different segments on the show and how to create all these characters. I think a lot of it was just him letting us go, you know, in a creative way.
Absolutely. Yep. I like it. All right. That's a good vision. Good vision to have. Hey, Vito, somebody did join the club. It's Zachary DiMaggio for the $5. He says, what was the most fun moment for you in the ring in your career? And I'm FBI now. I paid the fee. So there you go.
There you go. I know, Zachary, thank you very much for joining us tonight. All right? You're fucking in the club. All right? Make sure you stop by my social club. All right? Come see me. You have a drink. We'll get you a cannoli. We'll set you up. And if you're really good, I might set you up with one of my gourmands. All right, $5 gets you a whole lifetime.
Wow, I got to join the club.
That is a good deal.
I'm still waiting for you to dig in your pocket. What is it in your mom's dresser? Jesus Christ. Come on, D'Angelo. Dig. Fucking clowning around over there laughing at all that shit. What am I here to fucking amuse you? Huh? Put your head out on the fucking movie. I said it first. All right?
Can't believe you're Italian, embarrassing me like this.
It was the
I
fuck.
know, right?
And then you came and you wear the Italian colors. And you say, yeah, well, I'm a half Italian. You're a half ass, all right? All right, you fucking gazy. All right,
Damn.
stop. Anyway, funnest time in my career. Hey, listen, these guys are paying me big money to be here. I'm drawing rain.
I'm getting fucking roasted.
It's about time. I see you all the time. Oh, yeah, I'm right. You know, carrying Rob's bags. But you got to fucking pay the piper once in a while. All right, it's your day. It's your time.
It's your new spider.
All right? All right, and, and when you're off the air, make sure you fucking stir Rob's espresso real fucking good. All right?
Average coffee, you got it.
I like Bailey's and
Thank you, Rob. Right? And pick up a bottle of Bailey's next time you go. All right, you cheap bastard. All right, put it next to the fucking espresso machine and leave it. Don't say, well, my mom needs it back. No, fuck you. Leave it. All right? All right, funnest time in my career. All right.
Now.
You know, you're really laughing way too much. You're laughing way too much. Why don't you just go to the chat and leave the microphones to the adults, all right? You're fucking kidding around. Look, he's hot. Rob, where do you grow these guys? Where do you grow these guys?
He's getting pissed.
You're fucking killing me. Oh, my God. You know,
Don't make Dom angry. You won't like him when he's angry.
I'm sure. Listen, let's just cut to the chase. Give me your pinky. I'll fucking end it right now.
All right. Hey, do you have an answer, a favorite, or a funnest time that comes to mind?
Let's see. The most prestigious time in my career.
Yeah. No, funnest.
Funnest.
Funnest moment?
Fun moment for you in the ring in your career.
Funnest moment.
The question.
Oh my God. Funnest time.
Santa Claus, when you were Santa Claus?
Santa Claus was good. Yeah, all right. You want to bring up the Santa Claus? All right.
Yeah.
I had fun
There it is.
with Sabu. That's what comes to mind right now when I'm trying to think. And maybe if I had enough time, maybe there'd be a different answer. But I had fun that time that I came out dressed as Sabu, the full Sandman, and started kicking his ass and shit. And then he started kicking my ass and then like flipped my hair back and it was me. And then Sabu attacked him. That was some pretty fun shit for me.
Good spin.
So you mentioned the Santa Claus thing. This is
yeah. What'd you do, Santa Claus?
Yeah, when I was Santa Claus with Nunzio, you know, Vito, we just got to go out there. So the whole story is, right, the week before, Nunzio, this fucking guy, he fucking goes in the office, you know, Vito, I'm fucking cruiserweight champion, right? Right, we're going to fucking do things, right? I said, Nunz, shut the fuck up. We're kings of velocity. Let's fucking get a 6-month run. Let's fucking stay here. When we go to SmackDown, we're going to fucking kill people. We'll slay it. You know, Vito, you don't know how to politic, all right? You don't know enough, all right? I've been here a long time. I'm fucking cruiserweight champ. Fucking the nuns, all right? So here comes fucking Laurinaitis Vito. Fucking Nunzio's busting our fucking balls. I said, John, I don't know what you want me to do. I said, talking to him. He's got to calm down, all right? So the week before, this is a 3-week sequence. You'll like this. The week before, he's breaking their balls to be on SmackDown, right? Exactly. That's what I was fucking thinking. And I don't even do that kind of stuff, right? I got to start.
You got him.
So
I was just showing off my role. That's a pretty good. Anyway,
so he goes to fucking say he's complaining he's not on SmackDown, right? Hey, Laurinaitis, hey, Nuns, how you doing? Come on over. Listen, we listened to your request. We're going to put you on SmackDown tonight. You see, Vito, I told you this is what you needed to do. Right in front of Laurinaitis. And I'm like, no, we're going to do a fucking job. Please don't let us do a job. Tonight, Nuns, cruiserweight champ, Nunzio against heavyweight champ Batista. And I'm like, and I just fucking look at Nuns and John Laurinaitis says, get with your agent. And I fucking go, I said, I told you to shut the fuck up. You didn't fucking listen. Now we got to put the fucking guy over, and now I got to fucking do a job. What the fuck, nuns? But we're on SmackDown. Right? That's the first thing. The second thing is, that's when they put the boogeyman up, right? So the boogeyman's coming, and they got to fucking, here comes Lauren Ice, you know, nuns. We need you to fucking put over the boogeyman, right? And you have to eat worms. Here's his response. Is Vito gonna eat worms? I'm like, shut the fuck up, nuns. What the fuck? Why do I gotta eat this shit? You know, if Vito doesn't eat worms, that doesn't mean anything for the FBI. And I'm like, what the fuck? So he goes on there. He fucking eats a little tiny fucking piece of worm, right? Spits it out. Oh my God, this is fucking terrible. How can they make me cruiserweight champion? Fucking make this shit. All right.
Were they real worms?
Yeah. They were real legit worms. They paid, they bought them by the crate, right? Live, moving. So here comes Christmas. We're fucking, you know, they come to that. Nuns, we got you on SmackDown. You're going to be in El Vito's going to be Santa. I said, oh, this is going to be good. Working with the boogeyman. I said, fuck me. So I'm fucking like, all right. So the boogeyman, this was a make or break thing for the boogeyman. Either he was going to make it on the show or they were sending him out.
Oh.
So this is a true story. So he is on again, whatever. So he does this thing. Boogeyman comes and they say, yeah, you know, Vito, I have to make you eat worms, right? Vito, you're gonna eat some worms tonight, aren't you? Right? So fucking like, all right, no problem, right? So Boogeyman goes, Vito, he says, you know, I don't want to hurt. I said, bro, I want you to stick every fucking move to me that you can and take the biggest glob of fucking worms, shove him in my mouth, I'll do the rest, right? So there's a pee thing. They said, you know, Vince is saying, well, you know, can we have a pee thing? Can we situate it? So I said, Vince, I probably could piss on cue. My hands fucking just to do it. So here I am really fucking into the fucking thing. And I'm like, you know, hey, this is great. I'm a wrestler. I'm going to piss myself, you know, for payday. It works. So he comes in. We do the thing. Throw Nunzio to him. He dusts Nunzio. Right? I fucking see him. I piss legit. See it coming. Vito's pissing his pants. No shit, Sherlock. Right? I take the fucking slam. He slammed me through the mat like I told him. I'm fine. He goes to the crate, the bag, gets the worms. Here it is, coming through, puts it in my, and I fucking sit there with them in my mouth. It is the record for fucking worms that nobody has broken, right? Nunzio's fucking looking in shock. Fucking, oh my God, Vito, you have worms in your mouth. And I can't even say shut the fuck up. I'm just like, shut the fuck up, Nuns, right? And they fucking come to me and they said, Vito, that was great. I've never seen anybody have fucking worms like that. You did a great job. Fucking, that was the best. Vincent Vito, I don't know how you did it, but thank you. So fucking Nunes pops in. That's my partner. Go fuck yourself, right? Right? And then to boot on the payoff, hey, Vito, what'd you get for the payoff? I said about $5,500. You know what? I'm going back to the office. They only paid me $35.
Did you piss yourself, Nunzio? I pissed myself. Okay.
Exactly. I hope all you people in the chat are liking these fucking stories. All right. None of pro wrestlers letting the fucking cat out of the bag about Nunzio. All right. What the fuck?
That's a great story.
That's a fucking great story. Holy shit. Oh man, we got some super chats. Maddie gifted memberships. Thank you, Maddie. Damn. Kylie in the chat wants RVD to call out Ricochet. Call out Ricochet, Rob.
Ricochet, you son of the gun, you gymnast, you. I'll get my hands on you.
Uh-oh. There we go. Ricochet.
There you go.
All right, Kylie. There you go. You got it. Zachary DiMaggio. Oh, that was one you already answered. Never mind. Maddie.
By the way, I run into Ricochet every once in a while and stuff. And,
yeah.
You know, been known to smoke a doobie with him when I see him. He does some incredible shit. I was watching something the other day that ended up being him. I didn't know from the first angle, but some shit on Instagram or whatever. But I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, and it gets confusing now because everyone does amazing shit. But I think it was a double backflip into a fucking moonsault and landed. Right. Yeah, and then it says Ricochet. I'm like, wow, these gymnasts take it to a whole new level. But also they're also new school that they also don't fit it in the same way that we had to, right. which it just is what it is. But it's something that'll bother like me and Vito when we're watching modern day wrestling, and we notice how their agenda has changed to showcase more of the high spots and less of the wrestling, like he was talking about. He would like take somebody down. For me and Cheek, it was always about, why aren't you covering him? His fucking shoulders are down, and we always had to be closer to each other and always had to be like squeezing each other harder and always working to get out of something, and it was like, and now it's just like so different. And I'm not saying that he couldn't get that kind of stuff in back in the day. I'm sure he could have. And for me anyway, and people like me, we probably even appreciate it even more.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. No, I saw that double moonsault too by Ricochet. That was crazy shit. So, Vito, I got to ask you this too. From the creative standpoint, where did you get a lot of the creativity stuff like that? When you kind of find out when to pivot and how to kind of build yourself as a character, did that come to you naturally, like through family, or did you like just pop culture? Where did you kind of get the creative aspect?
It was just time for me to take a step up from being, a capo, a mobster, a hitman, and just for me to finally, because when you look at it, I am the last of the living Italians actively still wrestling in a company on screen. Mm-hmm. So when respectfully, when the D'Angelo family was doing their thing, right?
Yeah.
It would have been, and I was already doing the Don character. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden this kid says I'm a Don. And the guy Tony D'Angelo is a good worker. I praise him all the time. I thought he had something in him he reminded me of me a little bit because he had that, okay. But he needed that somebody to take him here. You can't come on TV and say I'm a Don and be in charge of a family if you've never been an Italian or been in an Italian scene and say I'm a Don. It doesn't work. It didn't come off well. But if I was with him, it's just for say now, if I was with him and I stepped in and then you say, hey, this guy would be my hitter, right? He would be my guy, he'd be my capo. And then we'd go to the ring. I would stand there and do my thing, let him do his business, come outside, gets his payment, and then on we go. And there's this stairway to heaven for him, right?
Right.
Because he's had that look. He's got it down. But he needs somebody with him. You can't just walk in to say you're a Don, you're in charge of a family when you've never been in charge of nothing. So people shit on it and they don't believe it. But with me, I am related to Lucky Luciano. I did grow up in a family atmosphere. Mm-hmm. I did work for some family. I mean, I grew up that way. So, like, it's easy for me to be this than to act it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, natural thing. And now that I don't have to be that wrestler and I could be me and just be some street guy beating the shit out of you, that's who I am. That's why it comes off. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's a good thing. It's like Vito grew up into this.
Yeah, yeah.
Easy way to explain it.
Yeah, the organic.
He's not talking about your brother, right?
No.
What D'Angelo dude are you talking about? I don't know.
Oh, Tony D'Angelo. He thought you meant my brother Marcus. My brother Marcus.
No, I didn't think so, but I thought maybe.
Yeah, Tony D'Angelo in NXT.
Tony D'Angelo, and that kid. If I was with him, and I say this all, if I was with him, he would be on SmackDown right now.
So this is what I heard about the D'Angelo family gimmick kind of thing like that. Like from people, creative minds and stuff like that, they said like a mafia mob gimmick necessarily wouldn't work on the main roster. And I kind of disagree with them. I thought there's different ways you could totally make it work. Do you feel that way too, Vito?
I don't have a stable right now.
Mm-hmm.
HCW. Right now, I'm navigating my way. And do I need a stable of guys? Yes. Am I hoping to acquire some guys? Yes. If he was not with that company, it would be my number one phone call.
Yeah.
No, legit, seriously, he'd be my number one phone call. I say, hey, come work with me. Let's make some money. Let's go do some stuff. Because him and I would do good business, right?
Yeah.
He's got look. He can do it. He's had practice. Now that he had the practice, now he can relax. Let me be the guy who's in front. Go do your dirty work and earn your keep. And then one day you could beat it down and take me out. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Applicants interested, feel free to call or write into the show. You could be the next mafia boss.
You're right. Donate $35 and join the club too. You know, we could do that.
Not the next boss, but the one after. You got to work your way up.
The underboss.
Nobody fucking text Nunzio and say, hey, Vito's on TV. I don't want to hear that shit either, all right? He ain't coming. I don't want to fucking hear shit. He'll fucking run to Russo like he ran to Laurinaitis and we're all fuckers. I'm telling you.
You could get my brother Marcus, Vito. He's a D'Angelo. You could get the backup one.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you'll probably want free tickets. Then you get Sir Rob's fucking espresso. Forget the fucking Baileys. All right. And then then you're screwed. I can't do that to my friend Rob. All right.
You can't do it.
I can't do it.
I'm there to help. I'm here to help everybody. That's it. Here to help. Cool. I think that got the super chats. Let me make sure. Oh,
did you get him? This is something I was trying to figure out if I'd wait till next week or not, but I'm going to start recommending RVD recommends new segment, right? And I'll start here with Vito because we can talk about each one. They might not always be this deep, but this one is, and so they're worth discussing. But here's RVD recommends 5 things to avoid saying, just in my opinion, because I do judge people who say these things, and I'll tell you what I think about them when they're saying it. Number one, we've talked about this before. When someone says, "Ain't you got nothing better to do?" Okay, what they're really saying is, I disapprove of your values, and so that's how I hear it. Because better for me or better for you? I mean, I'm out here because I want to be out here. Obviously, I've chosen to do this with my time. Maybe I am making shadow puppets on the wall, but that's what I choose to do with my time, knowing that there's a lot of other things I could choose to do. So for me, this was the best thing for me to do. Now, for you to come along and say, ain't you got nothing better to do? What you're doing is you're trying to make me feel bad about my choices and about my values. And who the fuck knows? Maybe I'll be on America's Got Talent someday doing that, whatever. But just those words, I personally don't ever say those. And when people do say that, that's what I think about them. Comments, Vito?
You're absolutely right. Same value here. I mean, when you say don't you have anything better to do, it's kind of like a fuck off and and it's kind of disrespectful. And you know what? Being older, you react different because you're not going to snap off and say, crack them one because it's a different time. Because like right now, everybody's a cop calling. Like, you say you got to be just laid back and chill, but you just look at the person differently. And what you said, Rob, is definitely true. Like you say, doing this right now, do I have anything better to do? No, I choose to do this with my time. I'm having a great time with my old buddy. I got my family with me. I'm here with D'Angelo, meeting him for the first time. I'd seen your show a lot. Hey, I was wondering, I said, when am I going to get a shot to be on this? And then these guys were telling me, Vito, don't you have anything better to fucking do to come on this show? All right. This is going to be the show of the year right here. All right. This is going to be it. All right. Vito 2.0. All right.
All right, number 2. This one isn't quite as deeply thought. You know, it's pretty much what it sounds like on the surface, but I feel like an overused expression. People throw in sitting when they're in there. What? You mean I'm supposed to just sit here and let you talk about my family like that? No one's asking you to sit, right? And I mean, it's just they always say that, like they could be anywhere, you know, unless they are in fact sitting, you know. But I mean, people are standing up and they're talking. Whoa! I'm supposed to sit here and just let you record me and not say anything about it. You know, when you think about and you really listen to what they say, to me that sounds like wasted words. You know, you're not sitting. Why are you talking about sitting? And who's asking you to sit through any of it? So anyway, I don't say that, but not that deep. Number 3, something that I don't say, and there's always exceptions to everything, you know, but I truly never believe this, so I would never say. If somebody says, well, why did you set that over there? No reason. There's always a reason. Always a reason. Every action has a reaction. And so if I ever did say that, I would know that I'm not telling the truth when I say it. It would be like, I can't imagine saying that. If I did, it would just be because I don't want to talk to somebody, or I don't want to explain. Well, you know what? I wanted to look out the fucking window, and that shop was convenient on the fucking way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to tell you all that shit. But when people say no reason and they really believe, no reason, I can't get behind that. Always a reason. You agree?
I definitely agree. The first one you said, what am I supposed to fucking sit here as you're fucking talking about my family? That's a fucking get up, right? So if you're standing and I'm sitting, right? All right, first of all, you're sitting, you're not standing, but I'm going to fucking get up. And when you approach somebody like that, right, being a man's man and who you are, you're going to get up and say, you know, yeah, I am fucking saying, so what the fuck are you going to do about it? And that's what it leads into, well, I'm just saying. No, you're not. And the other thing is, you know, we find out that you're pussified because you called me out. You didn't think I was going to stand. You're going to fucking stand up. And at this point of our lives, especially for Rob, myself especially, so I used to be on 150 all the time. Me fucking popping up and just fucking ready to go. I just learned how to just chill. And the other thing about fucking, you know, what he's sitting over there, so I want to fucking sit here. Are you my fucking father? You're my mother? You can tell me where the fuck to sit? Is there any reason? No, I want to look at the fucking birds. All right? I'm going to see if the fucking mafia is calling with smoke signals because the FBI is fucking watching us. We're under investigation. What the fuck is it your business? D'Angelo, you laughing again?
I like it. What do you? You're just going to sit here and tell me that, Vito?
Oh, yeah, that was tough. That was real tough. Oh, yeah, I'm scared now.
Putting that into context, though, makes sense like that. Like it's like I'm supposed to sit here, even if you're not sitting. Figuratively, you're saying like I'm not supposed to fucking stand up for the offense that I'm feeling right now. All right, cool. I like that. The no reason. This one too. It's just overused a lot, but people always like to say, "Dude, you're in my face." When they're like 30 feet away. I don't know. It's something that it's become like normal to just say that, and it comes out instinctively. I think for a lot of people when they don't necessarily mean it. You know, they're like, well, I'm sitting here at a traffic light, and all of a sudden I got all these cameras in my face, and none of them are even near like 6 feet. That's something that like I try not to say. If I do say it, then I definitely catch myself and say, wait, is that in my face? Why? I don't, That's not a real big one either. Not super deep. It's something. It's an expression, I guess. But the next one, I wonder, like, I might disagree with this one. I'm not sure because this is kind of behind, like the energy that I feel coming off of Vito. But at the same time, what I'm going to say for number 5 that I recommend to try to avoid is anytime you get to a point where you feel yourself saying loudly in an angry voice, well, you're a fucking pussy. Why don't you put that down and talk about it? because I think that physical confrontation is becoming more and more a thing of the past. You know what I mean? Like for me, growing up, being a tough guy might have meant that you get in a lot of fights, you kick a lot of ass, but now you get in trouble when you do that. And the further you go back, the further you had to be tough and fight to survive. Like way back when there wasn't as many people and you and your family had several acres and you had to kill people that were trying to rob from you or steal from you, or animals that were endangering you or that you wanted to eat. You know what I mean? Like it used to, even just like the Wild West days, like killing people was part of going to the grocery store back then. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, not so much. And that's one of the dying off values, is that the people that are quick to take physical action and feel like that should be the answer, the end all to every conflict. It's almost like it's a primal instinct for us to go like, this person's pissing me off. I'm offended that they would say that to me and I want to rip their head off. It's like primal. But if you can catch yourself feeling that way, I believe that if you know that you're angry, then you're in the wrong, or I am anyway. If I feel myself being angry, then I'm in the wrong because I don't want to be angry. Angry takes over. It makes you someone that you're not, which is true with all emotions. Really, they all control you for a little different part, different slice of the pie for different people with different emotions. But that really is you, kind of. But anger is just so dominant. If you give into it, it's like making the hot tag and letting someone come in and take over your body and just start fucking screaming, why don't you fucking come back here and talk to me and, fucking say it to my face, you fucking pussy. And it's like, what's that about? Like the more you give into it, the more that energy just like, let me out. It's like, and you want everyone to know, so you at least feel tough. And then everyone's staring at you saying, ooh, that person's angry. That, I wouldn't want to mess with them. I don't know. Tag.
That definitely getting up and fucking saying, what are you, a fucking pussy? Like, your first being older and more refined than I'm sipping Chardonnay yo. So it's like you definitely fucking grab the handles of your chair and you fucking sit there and you're like, because if you get up, it's going to be bad. And you just try to refrain yourself from acting like this. When you're younger, that is the first reaction. And, being in someone's face, here's my fucking answer to this. Motherfucker, you have no idea what fucking being in your face is, because I would have been headbutted your fucking forehead already. I would have been in your fucking ass. So saying this shit to me, it's like they have no clue.
If I was in your face, I'd be in your ass.
Yeah, in your ass.
In your ass.
Chin. How about that one, huh? That's fucking new this year. Be in your ass and tickle your mother's chin. I should fucking give me a fucking phone number, bitch. Fito, where do you come up with this shit? Right? Who do you think Ice Clay before he was fucking famous? He was in my basement in Brooklyn. No, everything Rob said is true, and about being the aggressor instead of the aggressee. But back then, that was just the way of life. And now with today, you have to really think about how you react to things because people are sick bastards. You know what I mean? Who's got a gun? Nobody fights with their hands no more. Nobody. Not a fucking soul. Everybody's got an ejector. Even they got a gun, they got a knife, they're going to call the cops. So what do you do with that? You know?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it if you can keep your intelligence and not give in to emotion.
It's sometimes, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Rob. This is the truth. I go through life because I have. You say you grow up, right?
Yeah.
And I find that the nicer I am when people are being an asshole to me, I come home and I want to rip the fucking roof off because I feel like people are looking at me like I'm a fucking pussy, right? Or like they think they can take advantage and take my niceness for kindness. But if I turn
ego, right?
Yeah,
that's your ego.
and if they turn it back and said, let me tell you something. You couldn't handle Vito from 30 years ago or 20 years ago. It'd be the sorriest day of your life because I would have beat the shit out of you, threw you in a fucking dumpster, and fucking walked away. And that was just my fucking lifestyle. It's just the way I was. I was on 150. And back when you're talking, all right, we go back EC in the 90s when I was still working in the clubs and wrestling and on some very good vitamins from the vitamin shop. I was fucking on I was on all the time, you know, and it was tough. And you don't understand it. People say, "Why are you so fucking angry?" Because it's just like this, you know what I mean? And people don't understand. And when you're in a locker room full of guys the same way, Rob has been there, you know. Rob is success, and people say, "Oh, look at fuck Rob Van Dam. I could do a fucking flip. Then go fucking do one." You know, like, what do you want me to tell you? You know, and Rob's doing his thing, and he's being cocky and arrogant with Fonzie. He's doing his thing. Hey, yeah, you have to tough shit. That's Rob. But then when you see Vito come out and he fucking does it, oh, look at fucking Vito. Thinks he's a tough motherfucker. Yeah, and how many times, Rob, have we fucking heard? And this is not bragging. I'm not the fucking baddest cat in the land. You know, fuck that Vito. You know, if Vito ever fucking came to me, I'll fucking kick his fucking ass. Nobody ever fucking came to me and tried to kick my fucking ass. Or if it did, it fucking got squared away real quick. In a wrestling ring, I took you down, fucking wrestled you, and if we came up and you wanted to go, I was right there. I'll let you know, like in a professional way. But when the tough guys don't meet. Because nobody wants to lose their rep. So, like, everybody's sitting in the corner waiting to go. But if you really want to fucking go, okay, fucking step up. We know. And I had a reputation, right? And I had an arrogant reputation. I could wrestle. I could fight. I could do it all. But when I came to ECW, I needed to learn a humble lesson. I had just come from Japan and I pinned Misawa, greatest wrestler of our fucking generation, right? And why did I pin him? Was he was a guy in green trunks fucking laughing at me, and I didn't know who the fuck he was. And I said, "Fuck you, motherfucker. You're next."
Wow.
That was it.
Dang. Did that get you heat for doing that?
Last time in Japan?
It was All Japan. I mean, I never went back to All Japan, so I mean, I had a great war. But
you said Misawa? You said Misawa?
Misawa.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fucking nuts.
Triple Crown winner, hadn't been pinned in 5 years. You're talking Stan Hansen, Scott Norton, fucking Dr. Death, Gary Albright, all these great monsters of Japan. Here I come from Puerto Rico. The guy's laughing at me. I'm not supposed to be afraid. What the fuck you, man? You know what I mean? I didn't know who the fuck you were. I didn't know you were a legend. Fuck you. I don't give a shit. I want to make my own legendary status. I want to, and in Japan, you have to fucking put your foot down. That was the best company in the world. I went on a 4-week tour, right?
Yeah.
So for 4 weeks, I was a god because I pinned Japan. I pinned Misawa. Basically, I did pin Japan because everybody's hopes and dreams. And you want to know the cool thing about it is that I was doing the German gimmick and I was doing a Heil Hitler, right?
Oh my God, were you?
No, I was doing the Zig Heil. The crowd was doing the Zig Heil with me in all 4 sections. They thought it was the greatest thing.
Holy shit.
They were on that side.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Throwing the streamers and everything.
They were on that side in that war.
they had a soft spot for me. You know,
Wow, how about that?
they were a charming personality, and I used to tell them, "What the fuck is your problem?"
You fucking pussy.
What's it?
Skullzilla, you squashed Japan. Thanks for having your charming personality on our show. I'm gonna call it quits because I gotta pee again.
You gotta pee.
All right.
You gotta start peeing right before the show. That's what I'll
All
do.
right.
See if
So
I-
I did want to go up there and say thank you very much, Rob, my dear friend, for having me on your show. This was a lot of fun. This was great.
Show. See you,
Guys-
JCW.
Check out JCW, guys. Please go to my platforms, the Big Vito brand on Twitter, on TikTok, Instagram,
Instagram.
Big Vito brand, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Guys, D'Angelo, it's very nice to meet you. Make sure you put a fucking $5 bill in the drop box, please. All
I'll
right.
stir your coffee too. I got your
stir
coffee
the
next time.
fucking coffee. Rob, I love you. Thank you for giving me a phone call and catching up. This will be the best show of the year because it's Vito 2.0.
Boom.
Peace.
See you guys next time on One of a
Heard that.
Kind.
Later, guys. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank
Thanks,
you, guys.
dude. Right on.
Peace